Hi, folks. Welcome back to Heard It on the X, the East Coast premier music talk show. I am Rich Rogenmoser, talking with Rich Williams from Kansas. Rich, when we went to the commercial break, we were talking about the industry being a different time. And like you say, it wasn't until Left Overture, that was on your fourth album, correct?
Yes.
It was before you even broke even for your record label, which was Donnie Kirshner's label. It is different now. It seems like the '80s really changed all that, and bands being able to develop under a label, that scenario is gone. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, artist development. I don't think that's a function in any record company anymore.
It seemed like in the '80s it went from artist development money to all that money was then poured into videos, which really shortened the artist development time. And then modern days, it's just gone. I mean, they don't even make videos anymore.
No, that was nobody that I knew at the time really enjoyed making the videos anyway. We're just some hopefuls from Kansas. All of a sudden, you're thrust onto this weird stage thing with weird clothes on and cameras running around everywhere, and we're not actors.
Right.
You're not playing. What has this got to do with anything? There was nothing comfortable or enjoyable about any of it. It was, I mean, if something is on now, I'll watch it just for the laugh. But at the time, it was like, oh my God, I don't want to do this.
And it had to be, too, for guys like yourself and all of your contemporaries that were recording, selling albums, selling out shows prior to the video, revolution happening. It had to be so foreign for you guys. And just really, like you said, it just had to make no sense whatsoever. Could you do something less musical, And you've got someone else shaping, you've got an artist that's involved with that end of it, shaping your image, which probably didn't bode well for a lot of artists from your era.
Well, no, it's like, okay, you're on the beach, and it's like, what? It's what was missing, An album cover was something that you could sit down there and you'd listen to music, you'd look at this big cover, look at the liner notes in the back, and that would start shaping mental images in your head about what the band was. But, suddenly everything is the size of a postage stamp, the artwork, and you're watching these jackasses jump around on TV. It's not the same visual image that you had in your head of what you were.
Yeah, correct. I can see that, and I, as a fan of music my entire life, I was the guy that read the back of the liner notes and read every single liner note, and I think that was an important part for the listener and somebody who enjoyed music. And with CD and now digital downloads, you miss all that. You really do.
For the listener, it gave them one piece of the puzzle, which was their own mind creating some of the imagery for it. How it suited them instead of being spoon-fed. Well, here's how they look like. Here's what they're about. Here's what they do. Here's how they sound. It left it up to the imagination of the listener a lot more.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, a difference between reading a book and watching the movie. I mean, really.
Yeah.
You had your own images, and I tell kids that are a lot younger than me, and even my own kids, back when I was younger, we had no idea what you guys looked like. If it happened to be that you were in a Rolling Stone or a circus magazine or something, maybe we would see an image of you, but we had no idea what you guys looked like. We would have to think about all this stuff, and I don't even know that it was really on our mind as much as, music wasn't visual when we were younger. It was audio, where, once it became visual, it seemed to really, really affect the product, I think.
Yeah, and the way it was sold, then it starts to snowball. Well, we need to make this more visual to sell it more, make it more spectacular, and then so much of it became more about that part of it than the actual music end of it.
Yeah. Now, you know what, Rich? We sound like a couple of disgruntled old guys right now. I got to ask you a technical question, because this is something that's been on my mind. On top of hosting the show, I'm also a gearhead, and I own Rich's Music Exchange. But you guys had monster guitar tones. I mean, can you briefly, fill me in on what you were using instrument-wise, amp-wise? I mean, were there any special techniques? But I always remember Kansas having, especially like "Carry On My Wayward Son" and stuff like that, just having monster guitar tones.
Well, it was kind of the industry standard. It was, I was, at that time I was playing a basic Les Paul setup. Mine was an L6S Gibson. You know, but it's just your basic Les Paul type of setup, just a little thinner body, to a Marshall. Marshall 100 lead and a 412 Marshall cabinet. That was it. No effects in front of it, no anything.
So it was really just you guys, because it was, I'm telling you, it's a great guitar. One of my all-time favorite guitar tones.
That was well, and you know, to this day, that's one good thing about being a guitar player is like for keyboard players and you know, drums. My God, you know, you can buy a drum set for $1,000 back then. I mean, they're a fortune now.
Yeah.
Keyboards are ever evolving. You know, still what everybody goes for in the guitar world is the same stuff I was playing 30 years ago.
Right. Right. It's funny because they always try to evolve the guitar and they always try to bring in all these goofy effects that thin the tone down. And really, the guys that you worship are the guys that have a guitar, chord, and a cool tube amp. You know, and that's it. You know, there's really nothing else. So March 5th at the Seneca Allegheny Casino in Salamanca, you can see Kansas, and the DVD is available now. The DVD is available everywhere. Is it like an exclusive licensing with a specific store?
Well, as far as everywhere, I don't know. I don't shop for my music in stores anymore. Nothing wrong with it. I just don't get out. I don't like Amazon.com. You can buy it all day long there.
Right, exactly. And that's the future, too. That's something we can talk about in another interview. I know you got to run and do some more interviews, and I really appreciate you taking some time to talk to us. And I want to remind everybody, all the listeners, March 5th at the Seneca Allegheny Casino in Salamanca. Go see Kansas. Rich, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.